Said I had a bad morning, yeah, carried over from the weekend, Lord. I've been thinking about home. Lord knows I can never make it easy on myself, but that's alright.
Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the new GoPro Hero 6. Now, if you don't know, I have two of these GoPro Hero 5s. This is actually a case, but the way that I've customized this one, you can't remove it from the case anymore. But this is completely the same body as the Hero 5. If you didn't know that this was a Hero 6, it could easily be passed off as a Hero 5. But the difference is GoPro has now made the Hero 6 into what the Hero 5 should have originally been. Basically, every image quality, be it 1080p, 2.7K, 4K, whatever the maximum frames per second were on the Hero 5 is now double on the Hero 6. So I predominantly film automotive or action-based YouTube videos. So in terms of that, the GoPro's theory is great. However, the audio in the Hero 5 was always terrible. When I first started on YouTube, I thought that the Hero 5 or the GoPro in general was going to be a feasible camera that I could carry around daily, and it just wasn't that because the audio was so horrible and things like that. So now these cameras have basically become exactly what they're intended for, and that is just simply B-roll action cameras, which is fine. That's their purpose. But does the Hero 6 add value over the Hero 5? Either way, I've still bought it. I'm going to keep it, but I'd like to know, was that investment worth it? Both links to this camera and the other objects you see in this video will be in the description below if you guys want to check out current pricing. The links are always in the description below. If you guys haven't figured that out yet, that's where they always are, okay? We're going to take some side-by-side videos with both of these cameras to see the difference, if it's noticeable, if it's not. I know that the color dynamics on the Hero 6 are a little bit different than the Hero 5, and we'll see just kind of how they compare and if it was worth the money or not. I know that the low light capabilities of the Hero 6 are slightly different than the Hero 5, which are essentially zero, but again, we'll see. Both of these cameras are currently set to the exact same automatic settings, although whatever feet per second I'm using on the Hero 5, I will be doubling it on the Hero 6. As you'll see when we go by the side-by-side videos, there will be tags on the bottom showing you which is which. All right?
Made a few wrong turns with a couple choice words, but I know I'm not the only one. But I know soon I'ma catch on fire, cause I do what it is I like. And I know a few wrong don't make it right, but when I get on the mic, got me feeling like, but I bet I'ma catch that beat. Mama said never sweat that heat, never settle for the next best thing. Oh, oh, oh. I won't change a thing, no, 'cause everything is alright, alright, yeah, yeah. It's all in the words we sing, oh yeah. We gon' sing it all night, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I went and got my kicks up, started thinking on my own. They say, hey, Mr. Big Stuff.
Hey, Mr. Big Stuff.
Who do you think you are? Oh, no, but I move to my rhythm, bounce to my step. They won't know what hit them when I hit them with the flag. Lost for a minute, I was living out of debt, but now I'm on the mic like Chad. 1, 2, move, get out the way. Hit them with the blues, but they ain't here to stay. Got a whole new tune that'll make your hips sway, booty shake, earthquake, goodness sake, just make them that feel so good.
To test the onboard audio, we come into 1080p. The Hero 6 is in actually 240 frames per second, while the Hero 5 is in 120 frames per second. Now, the 240 frames per second is kind of first of its kind, and again, that doesn't really relate to the microphone. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a 2-in-1. Obviously, when GoPro changed from having the outer skeleton case or the outer case that made it waterproof to being a completely waterproof unibody system, you lost a lot of the microphone capabilities. So I'm using both of the onboard microphones now to record audio while we look at the 1080p comparison.
A little bit of wrong, but it feels so right. It's good for the soul. Some peace of mind now, darling. I won't change a thing, no.
So we just got done comparing quickly the Hero 5 and the Hero 6. I'm not going to go into exhaustive measures because I'm not really a tech reviewer, tech channel per se. I just want to kind of have my experience with it so you guys can see kind of how it relates to me, how it's going to relate to cars and things of that nature. So anyway, when I bought the Hero 6, of course my intention was 4K 60 feet per second, and that was going to be kind of the how I can capture moving cars and moving subjects in 4K but still having the ability to not have rolling shutter issues or things of that nature, like I do kind of even experience with my Mavic Pro. When I got the camera and I put it to 4K 60 FPS, it immediately switched off stabilization because this camera does not support the built-in stabilization in body, so at that frame rate and that FPS. So what I'm concerned about is obviously stabilization when things are moving, if I'm running and gunning, stuff like that. And as we saw, I can't see it yet, but in the post when I was shaking the cameras around, we'll see kind of how the stabilization works. Now, that was at 4K 60 FPS. Now, if it sucks, I bought this. And what this is the GoPro Karma Grip. It's the GoPro's own incredibly overpriced gimbal. It's $299. Again, link in the description for current pricing. But I figured, you know, if I'm only going to be shooting B-roll with this, and I'm only going to be kind of using it not as an audio source, then this could work. So what you have to do is you take off that handle, making it no longer waterproof. You slide the entire GoPro in to the housing here, of course, latch it down. Now, my first immediate reaction to this was when I took it out of the box and charged it, it took like 4 hours to charge initially, and it only lasts about an hour and a half. Now, I don't know if that was just because it was the first charge out of the box or it really takes that long. The nice thing is it does have the mount here, or the plug here on the bottom, so you can transfer files and charge both the GoPro and the Karma Grip while they're together. So anyway, when you turn it on, it turns on the grip and the GoPro together, and you see it takes life there. Again, this is not going to be a vlogging camera. Of course, you can turn it around and like have a first-person view of yourself and then turn it back. It actually does a very good job of keeping kind of what I want in frame. Now, that was kind of my main concern in the beginning, is that obviously, you know, is it going to be able to keep what I want in frame, or is it going to kind of wander all over its place? And that's kind of what we're getting right here. So again, it takes your gestures pretty well, you know, but again, it's going to be a learning curve for me because I've not used one of these before. But, you know, for B-roll and stuff like that, getting shots of cars, getting shots of things moving at a high rate of speed, as you can see there, it keeps everything nice and smooth and fluid. So we're going to see how this goes, and I think this will actually be a relatively good setup, just, you know, keeping my expectations in the fact that this is not going to be, you know, a primary camera that I'm going to be walking around vlogging with or recording audio. Obviously, the quality isn't good enough. The audio quality, at least, isn't good enough, and I don't want my stuff to be kind of bad quality. When I started, I had, you know, not great cameras, or I was using my phone or whatever, and the quality now, I look back now, and it's almost embarrassing. So again, we'll take a little look with this setup now and kind of see how it does as a standalone unit, not comparing it specifically to the Hero 5. This is running. I'm running. I never run, so this is it. Oh, that was a lot.
Everything is alright, alright, yeah, yeah. It's all in the words we say, oh yeah. We gon' sing it all night, yeah, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't change a thing, no, 'cause everything is alright, it's alright, yeah. It's all in the words we sing, oh yeah. We gon' sing it all night, no, I wouldn't change a thing, no.
on. You don't think that I would end the video and give you a conclusion without low light, right? We're walking through just a neighborhood at night. There's a little bit of ambient lighting, as you can see, but I doubt that either camera's gonna pick it up really well. From my experience with the HERO5 in the same lighting, it generally doesn't pick up anything. It looks like the HERO6 actually has a pretty good low light sensor based on what I can see in the back. Let me just turn both around and see kind of how they get my face. There's ambient lighting right there, obviously, but we're gonna go into a little bit darker of a section. So yeah, that's the night test. All right. Time for the real conclusion now. And I think it's clear from the footage. I did go and look at the footage before I obviously filmed the real conclusion. The HERO6 is the real one, honestly. Like, just the color grading, you know, just everything about it really is just a lot smoother. It's a lot better. When I was shaking the camera, when I was at the hill earlier, you know, that's image stabilization off. Now the funny thing is, between the two of them is, when I was shaking the camera back and forth like that and moving the camera around, they were both attached together and moving at the exact same time. So it was really interesting to see kind of how each of them reacted to movement, and side by side, you know, which was faster, which was slower. But you know, just purely based on the kind of the built-in color grading alone on the HERO6, I keep saying S6 because I drive an S6, on the HERO6, you know, it's great. It's a lot nicer, you know. So the HERO5 MSRP's for $400, the HERO6 MSRP's for $500, and I think it's worth it. If you don't have either, I would spend the extra money for the HERO6. If you have a HERO5, and you can get some of your money back to trade it for a HERO6, I would still do it. You know, it's maybe worth $200 more, but I would definitely go with the 6 over the 5, just based on the quality, the advanced features. You know, 4K is the future. YouTubers, you know, and any kind of content creators, 4K is the future. And even if you don't use that quality of footage in your final cut, it's better to have it. So that's my word. Guys, Christmas is coming out, and if you use the link in the description to purchase a HERO6 or anything else that you found, it does help support this very expensive hobby that I have. So I would greatly appreciate it. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.